everybody, JC here from Toy News International and MarvelousNews.com. So I'm sure by now you've probably seen the new Spider-Man Homecoming trailer that debuted last night on the Jimmy Kimmel Show, and I just wanted to share some thoughts. I thought it was a pretty interesting trailer, so I just kind of wanted to break it down a little bit and share some thoughts. Now, I'm not actually going to show you the trailer. I'll put a link to the trailer in the video description below. So if you haven't seen the trailer, then definitely go check it out before you continue watching this video. But anyway, we didn't really learn a whole lot new. I mean, if you've been following the news for Spider-Man Homecoming, we knew that Tony Stark, Robert Downey Jr. was going to be in the movie Iron Man. We knew Jon Favreau would be reprising his role as Happy, Tony Stark's bodyguard. And we knew that Michael Keaton was going to be in the movie as well, and most likely the Vulture, which that was confirmed with this trailer. So Michael Keaton will be playing Adrian Toomes, aka the Vulture. Now I gotta say that I wasn't terribly impressed with what we saw of the Vulture's suit. Looks like a big clanky armor and with big giant propellers or something on it. I don't know, it just seemed a little bit big and clanky, and honestly not something that seems like would pose that much of a threat to Spider-Man, and definitely not the combination of Spider-Man and Iron Man, assuming they do team up. Now we see at the end of the trailer both Spidey and Iron Man flying through New York City together. But basically, from what I've been able to piece together, and again, this is all basically just assumptions since I haven't actually seen the movie, but it looks like at some point in the movie, and I'm guessing probably towards the beginning, it looks like, things pick up shortly after the events of Civil War, and Tony has continued to kind of take Peter under his wing and everything. And it looks like at some point in the movie, Peter tries to try out for the Avengers. So almost like an official tryout or something. It looks like that he's going to. So that scene we see Peter and Tony in the limousine. It looks like he's about to go and embark on an official tryout for the Avengers. Now, I gotta say that being that this is a very young Peter Parker, as in like he's a minor, I would find it kind of hard to believe that he would be able to become an Avenger at this stage of his life, basically because he's too young. So I don't know if that's something that will hinder him in the movie or what have you. Definitely looks like, though, that Tony is kind of, looking at Peter as kind of like the son he never had, and becomes kind of overprotective, and that kind of annoys Peter at some point in the movie. So I'm kind of guessing that at some point during the movie there's kind of a breakup between Tony and Peter, basically because Peter's tired of Tony being so overprotective. And you'll notice in a couple scenes where it looks like Spider-Man's fighting the Vulture, he's wearing like a throw-together costume. It's not really a Spider-Man costume that Iron Man gives him. It's like, it's a sweatshirt and some gloves and stuff. So it's almost like maybe Tony, takes away the suit from him as a punishment or something for not doing what he wants. And so then he goes off on his own and tries to fight the Vulture and gets his butt kicked probably. Again, that's just speculation on my part, but that scene where you see him get thrown into the bus and it looks like he's there on the beach at Coney Island, it looks like he's wearing something that's supposed to look like a Spider-Man outfit, even though he doesn't have mask on. He's just got a hoodie, it looks like, but it's not the actual Spider-Man costume. Also, at some point, it looks like Vulture attacks a ferry there, Staten Island ferry. You see him blowing the front of the ship open, and then you see like Spider-Man trying to save the ship, save the boat and everybody on it. Similar scene to what we saw in one of the earlier Spider-Man movies, where he's like holding everything together with his webs and stuff. Reminds me of that scene with the train where he's stopping the train with his webs. So kind of reminiscent of that. Looks like at the beginning or at some point in the movie, Spider-Man takes on some thugs. Now these thugs, they're dressed up as the Avengers, which is kind of funny, but they've got this high-tech equipment. I mean, much more, they're robbing an ATM machine with this very high-tech equipment. So, and it looks like that equipment is then later stolen by the Vulture and his henchmen for his, I guess, his Vulture costume. So that should be interesting how that plays out. I don't really know what, is Michael Keaton, this version of Adrian Toomes, is he just going to be a thief who's going around stealing technology to be basically be a bank robber or what. I don't know. Again, just looking at the suit, it's like, okay, this really doesn't look like something that's going to pose Spider-Man and Iron Man too much trouble. But we'll see. But overall, I did like what I saw. There are some characters I didn't really recognize. So the Peter's friend who looks like discovers his secret, that looks like not somebody I'm familiar with from the comics, so I don't know who that's supposed to be. Also, the girl that we see in his high school, it looks like it's hard to tell for sure, but at first I thought that was supposed to be like Mary Jane, but it looks like he referenced her as Liz. The only Liz I know of is Liz Osborne, who becomes, Harry Osborne's future wife. So I don't know if that's the Liz that's supposed to be, or if this is just a new character, or maybe I just hear wrong. I don't know. I played it several times, and like I said, I couldn't make it out too clearly, but definitely didn't sound like he was saying MJ or Gwen Stacy or anything like that. So I don't know who exactly that's supposed to be. Also, the girl that calls them losers, I don't know if that's just a random character or if that's somebody who's going to play a larger role in the movie or down the line, what have you. So, be interested to see how all that plays out. And then, obviously, at some point in the movie, he goes to Washington, D.C. So, I'm sure that's something to do with maybe the Sokovian Accords. In the comic books, if I remember correctly, in the original Civil War storyline, Peter and Tony go to Washington, D.C., and Peter actually, takes off his mask and tells everybody that he's Spider-Man. So I would find it kind of hard to believe they do that here, but who knows? But, we see him in that scene where he's, like, on top of the Washington Monument. Now, what's kind of interesting about that is it looks like the police are after him. It's like, snipers are training their guns on him, and then he jumps over the helicopter. So I don't know if at some point he becomes a fugitive or what's going on there. But, again, should be interesting to see how that all plays out. So definitely like what I see so far. Looks like they're doing a good job of integrating Spider-Man into the Marvel Cinematic Universe. I would definitely hope that 20th Century Fox takes note and sees that this could be something similar done with the X-Men. I think it would definitely elevate the X-Men and those properties to a new level if they did that. So we can always keep our fingers crossed. Also, some of you have been asking about action figures based on Homecoming. So Hasbro hasn't really said anything official, but I mean, I can virtually guarantee you there will be Spider-Man Homecoming figures probably released in an upcoming Spider-Man Marvel Legends wave. We don't have any details, but I would say it's 99.9% probability that's going to happen, and we'll probably get our first looks at those at Toy Fair in February. So definitely stay tuned for that. Alright, so I'm going to wrap it up here. Let me know your thoughts. Did you like the trailer? Are you excited for the movie? What do you want to see in the movie? Let me know in the comments section below. And until next time, guys, I'll catch you later.